lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's second and 10 from the 20.
11. Got it.
Back to throw now on second and 10. Rolling to his right. It's caught inside the 25. A big-time play there for New Orleans. Orleans. 9 yards. A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They've got it first and goal at the 6. Try to pound it in, Kamara. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get them in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. They'll set up a throw. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
The penalty yards marched off as they'll try again on second and goal.
21.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. What's good on the extra point? And that makes the score 7-0. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. First carry for Amir Abdullah. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Come on, let's go!
Second down, Brissett. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Kill!
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He'll drop to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill.
No, bottled up fumble. It's out. It's loose. And I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Brissett. And a first hookup with his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Brissett now. This is caught. Gronkowski. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
To throw, Brissett, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle, and he takes it in for a Colts score. Amir Abdullah, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Pwnda84 able to tack on the PAT, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they try to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. The rookie picked off the rookie.
And guess what? They're pretty familiar with each other. It's not like when I was growing up and the dinosaurs were roaming the earth and you heard about a guy somewhere. Now they run into each other at camps, going through high school ball, recruiting.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Brissett sets to throw it. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right, it felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he's got some space here. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10.
Easy.
staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. They're going to look to throw. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up second and goal.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. They'll set up to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Dylan Cole. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. The throw left side complete to Hogan. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Come on, let's go!
A first down throw for Brissett. Finding room inside the 40. He hits Gronkowski on the out route. A big play there for Indy. 51 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
On the ground, this is Williams. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Colts are in for 6. Pwnda84 connecting on the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7. Pwnda84 out there to kick this one away. On the return, it's Ted Ginn Jr. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
21. Ready, what's that?
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
So in one play, you've lost an amount of yardage that our stat guy is still totaling up. Now there are mess-ups, and there are mess-ups. I think this falls in the latter category.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. That's complete to Meredith. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
Well, they just treated 3rd and long as simply an opportunity to make an even bigger play. Normally, you're just trying to pick up the first down, and you know where the sticks are. They took this thing way downfield. Confidence in the receivers to go up and make a play, even with defenders around them.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense, because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this.
Ready.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. That's an experienced DB picking off a rookie, and you know sometimes those experienced DBs, they love going against the young pups, don't they?
And I go back to the offseason, had a quick conversation with him about, hey, when you play younger quarterbacks, what's it like for you? And he says it's like being a boxer. I give him a lot of different angles, a lot of different looks, and a lot of times I just bait the young guy.
And there he baited him right into the interception. Marcus Davenport there to take him down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
A 2nd down throw for Brissett. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Come on, let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38. Ohio.
It's 3rd and long for Brissett. Letting one go deep here for Gronk. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the 2nd half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side. And that's caught inside the 35. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Smith catches left side. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal.
Sammy. 11. You inside?
On play action, they'll throw. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas in the final seconds of the first half. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Come on, let's go!
Brissett to throw on first. And a big loss here as he's taken down. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a tie ball game here heading to break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Looking for Gronkowski, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Gronkowski, the intended target. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. A very solid gain of 27. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
This quarterback now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10.
Easy.
He'll look to throw. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it 2nd down. shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Got it.
They'll look to throw here. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
They'll drop the throw. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
And Lutz's kick is good. And they take a 17-14 lead. They don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Over the middle, that's caught by Hogan. And out across midfield down to the 45. Give him 30 yards there. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45.
Let's go. White 90. White 90.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Trey Hendrickson. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. Flushed out right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The linebacker, Demario Davis, got a hand in to break that one up. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Ohio.
From the gun, here's Brissett. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that one incomplete. Had some position, but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. From the 9, here's 2nd and 9. Now they'll throw here, out of the gun. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So with the pass being completed, they'll go ahead and take that instead.
Nothing extra to be gained. Pass interference at the spot, completed the pass. That was your play, so it might as well have not even had the penalty.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. They're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. A give. This is Kamara. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Again, it's Kamara. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. Back now in Indianapolis. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. The Saints on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Back to throw here. The open man is Smith. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They come out here in the eye.
Kill. Got it.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Got it.
They'll look to throw. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his third touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
First down, Brissett. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, blocked down there. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it a second down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Second down, Brissett. On the crossing route, complete. That's Hogan. And it's a fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys are going to take over at their own. The 48-yard line. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to air one out. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Brissett fights loose. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Sheldon Rankins in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now Brissett. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
11.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 23 yards on the play. A good start there on this 4th quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. He'll get it up the middle, and he takes it in for a Colts score. Amir Abdullah, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Colts able to get this back within a touchdown. He's having a nice little game. Maybe already has an eye on that 3rd touchdown.
And how about what our producer, Christian McLeod, likes to say when they've scored touchdowns like this? He's put a tent up in Touchdown City.
Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to air one out. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this.
You're good. Right forward, right. 21. Reset.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. That one looks like he'll throw here. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. What's good on the extra point? And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. First down throw for Brissett. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Gronkowski, the intended receiver, and it's second down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. To throw, Brissett. Right side, that's complete to Gronkowski. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. Brissett to throw on first. They'll get this into the hands of Deion Kane. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the play. Brissett on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. Whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, whatever it is, they need to score quickly here on first down. They'll throw again. Brissett. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Throwing again, Brissett on 2nd and 10. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there. But even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Into the air once more. It's Brissett. Throw left side complete. That's Montgomery. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. That is inches from the upright. It's no good. Wide to the left, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Over. Level. Ready. You ready? 5-8.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Buying time to his left. And this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
Ready. Yellow lady. 21.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
Yeah, baby. Boom.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Saints, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will head home next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa